Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Liverpool versus Chelsea game, obviously taking place tomorrow night, and what a massive game it is. Let's be honest, if we do win, we're pretty much taking them completely out of the title race. Talking about Liverpool a bit more in depth, other than the rematch in the FA Cup against Plymouth Argyle, where they beat them 1-0 after drawing 0-0 at home, they haven't won a single game in the year of 2017. Not a single one. With 3 draws and 4 losses. Fair enough, they've been unlucky in some of them. They probably would have deserved to win most of them, let's be honest. They're good going forward. But they just didn't. It's just not happening for them at the moment. And there's probably not a better time to play them for us. So, great stuff. They're sitting in 4th on 45 points, 10 behind us, which is a big gap. That's why I said if we do win, we're pretty much taking them out of the title challenge. Because 13 points difference to us, they're just not catching up that no matter what, especially because they wouldn't be the only team directly behind us. So, they're not catching us. And even if they were to catch us, they're not winning the title anyway. But yeah, obviously talking about their players a little bit, or their system, they usually tend to play a 4-3-3. They're very good going forwards. They have a lot of good attacking players in Firmino, Coutinho, pretty much it, Sturridge, Origi. And obviously Sadio Mane, who was at the African Cup of Nations, which probably played a rather big part in why they are doing so badly at the moment. He is back now. Senegal got knocked out of the African Cup of Nations after he missed a decisive penalty, which is quite funny. But apparently he's on the way back now, or he's back already. But what I've read is that he's not expected to feature against us because he's not going to train today, or he didn't train today. For me, there's still a chance that he could be on the bench, but I'm convinced that he won't start the game. So that's obviously great for us. As long as we have a good enough lead until he comes on, if he's even on the bench, should be all right. Should be more than all right. Not that, just because he comes on we'll lose, or if he plays we'll lose. But he's a good player, and it's always better not to have him against us than to have him against us. Quite simple. Talking about a few of their team news, which Jurgen Klopp talked about in his press conference earlier. Nathaniel Klein didn't train today, so obviously that pretty much means he's out. He was probably a doubt, didn't train, so he's not playing against us from what it looks like. Lallana did train, but apparently he's still a doubt, so that'd be good. He's been doing really well. He's apparently been voted, didn't even realise, voted the best English player of the year, 2016. Fair play, but shows how bad England are, to be honest. I mean, he's not doing too badly. Recently for Liverpool, or before their bad run of form, he's been doing all right. But that's pretty much all on Liverpool. Talking about us and talking about Antonio Conte's press conference earlier, I just watched it not too long ago. First of all, we've spoken about Ivanovic. Obviously, there's all this talk about him leaving for Zenit St. Petersburg or possibly somewhere else in the Premier League, even though I doubt he'd do that. Conte said he hasn't spoken to Ivanovic since the weekend about his future, and we'll have to wait. So, I also said he's a legend at the club, and, Antonio Conte, he has great respect for him. So, quite clearly, Ivanovic wants to play. He said, when you're used to playing every week, and then suddenly pretty much you're not playing anymore, pretty much at all. He's 32, even though it's old, it's not very old. So, at 32, I understand if you still want to play regular football. In my head, I would be right, see it out till the end of the season, win the league with us. Because, he's been around for 9 years. So give it those 5 months more that it is until May. Move in July or whatever. Get another Premier League medal. Because why not? But, apparently he wants out. But it's not decided yet whether he will leave, or I don't know what that depends on. If we want to get a replacement in, or if it's just about transfer talks with him, or what exactly the deal is. I don't know, if I'm honest. Also talked about Asmir Begovic, who's obviously been talked about a lot recently. He pretty much said there's no further news. He just put it quite simple. If we find a good replacement for Asmir Begovic, he will go. He will be allowed to go because that's his wish to play regular football. But if not, he will stay. But, he's dedicated enough and more, professional enough. Once the transfer window's over, he's staying and he's staying. He will definitely fight for us till the end of the season and try to win the title with us. Whether he will play a game in the league or not, it's a different story, because if Courtois doesn't pick up an injury or suspension, he's probably not going to. But, that's the situation on that, and we'll have to wait and see until tomorrow night, I'm guessing. Also, he was asked if he finds it a bit weird that we're actually playing on deadline day, like pretty much just before it shuts. And he says that it's strange, and it really is strange, isn't it? Like, these like late moves that we tend to make with, David Luiz, Torres a few years ago. We do like to do that a lot, and it's a bit weird if the manager isn't around. But yeah, that's what it is. Then he was asked if Liverpool changed since we last played them, obviously because of the run of form and all of that. And he said it's not really them who changed, it's us who changed. He said we've grown a lot in pretty much every sense, of football. Grown a lot in performances, grown a lot in confidence, and grown and like improved our identity, and proven our identity, which I don't think you could be, more right with. So that's really what's happened, hasn't it? Like, back then, obviously, we didn't play the 3-4-3. After that, we played Arsenal, got smashed, and then we changed the system. We're a completely different team to them. Not saying that because of that we're, just going to play them off the park because we changed the system, and back then, we didn't. But, we're different. They're not really different. If anything, they're worse at the moment because they're doing so badly. And then, another bit of great news, as it has been for a long while now, actually. We just don't have injury. Well, but the Diego Costa back injury. Who knows what was going on with that. But apparently, there are no new injuries. Everyone is fit and available. And Antonio Conte said he hopes that will be the same after training session. Obviously, the last training session before the game. But yeah, talking about us, talking about our lineup, and I think it's pretty standard. I think there's only one question, whether who will play in that lineup. So, the defensive side of the game will stay exactly the same. Thibaut Courtois in goal, Cesar Azpilicueta as the right-sided centre-back, David Luiz as the central one, Gary Cahill on the left side, Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses being the two wing-backs, and in central midfield, I'm 100% sure it will be N'Golo Kante next to Nemanja Matic, unless there's obviously an injury that hasn't happened yet. But, we'll definitely be a bit more cautious and not start Fabregas because, that would really surprise me. And then, obviously, Hazard and Diego Costa definitely going to start the game. Costa did come on, but Hazard had a full rest against Brentford. And then the only question for me is, will it be Pedro or will it be Willian? Before Willian got subbed off a lot earlier than Pedro did against Brentford, I was convinced it would be Pedro because I think he's just been doing a lot better recently and he's just been doing really well. You could put him anywhere, right wing back, left mid, right mid, or wing. Striker, when interchanging, when Costa wasn't playing, could probably put him in central midfield and he'd do a job. He's just really good. Finally the Pedro that we all knew from Barcelona and thought, is he going to be that good without Messi and Iniesta next to him? Seems like he is. Fair play. But because Willian got subbed off a lot earlier, about 15, 20 minutes before Pedro did, I'm not 100% sure. I still think Pedro will start the game, but it could well be that it is Willian. I simply can't, I can't know. There's no way to know. But I think it's going to be Pedro. Talking about how I think we're going to play, of course we're going to try to be very solid, very stable at the back. That's why I think Kante and Nemanja Matic will play next to each other. Not that they don't usually, but still, just there's more emphasis on that part this time round, and there's no argument really if it should be Fabregas or Matic this time round, in my opinion. But you can't forget, like I said earlier, Liverpool are great going forward, whether that's with Mane or without Mane, and with Lallana or without Lallana. They're really good going forward, and they're at home. They will try to play their football. They will try to play their pressing and high up the pitch football. And what we will definitely try and do is not sit back, as in park the bus, but be solid defensively and then hit them on the break like absolutely crazy. Tomorrow, Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses, massive day for them. They have to defend against their fullbacks. They have to defend, against their wingers. But when we hit them on the counter, they have to go. They have to go without stopping. They have to run the whole field in 10 seconds. That's what they have to do. Because we can hit them on the counter really well. That's the only thing, another thing that sort of suggests Willian can play, because I think he's a little bit better on the counter because he's quicker and he can carry the ball forward more. Pedro is more of like, he's going to play it long. But the advantage you have when you get the ball around your area or just in front of your area and Willian picks up and he just charges forward, charges past everyone, it draws people to him and then it opens up gaps for the other players. And if you play a long ball, all of the players are going to be drawn to them straight away. And if they don't have a perfect first touch, counter-attacking chance is gone. So that's, a slight advantage for Willian. Still think it's going to be Pedro, but that's why I think it could be Willian. But yeah, if we do counter well, we're going to win. We're going to win because we're good at the back. They're not scoring at the moment, even though I said they've been unlucky. Let's just hope they're going to be unlucky again. My prediction, it's a really difficult one for me. I think it depends on what kind of Liverpool turns up. But my prediction, I can't put it down to one. Either 1-1 draw, which I would take, which I would be happy with, or I think we'll win 2-0. Because if we can keep them out, we'll just hit them on the counter. The longer the game goes on, the more they will try to attack because they have to win. Remember, they're 10 points behind us. And the longer that goes on, we'll have more spaces going forward and we'll score. Obviously, always important or always great is an early goal. If we get an early goal, done and dusted in my opinion. Because they will attack, we hit them on the counter, make it 2, maybe make it 3, concede a silly one possibly, but still win the game. But yeah, my predictions are 1-0 or 2-0 to us. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've talked about the whole press conference thing, Ivanovic possibly going out, Begovic possibly going out, a replacement for Begovic possibly. He was asked about other things as well, forgot to talk about that earlier actually. He was asked if he thinks there's anyone coming in. He says he does not know. We'll have to wait pretty much until tomorrow, 11 o'clock PM. But if you want to know about any of that, like I said, in the video that gone up earlier, Louis will, host a live stream alongside the Redman TV, Chris from the Redman TV, tomorrow ahead of the Liverpool game, talking about that very game and also deadline day and talking about our transfers. So if you want to know if there's any, movement in, all those stories, Ivanovic, Begovic, replacements for Begovic and, other players, check out that live stream. It will be all over our social media. So, subscribe to those, follow us on those. They will be down in the description. All of them, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also Snapchat. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Leave me all of your thoughts on the game down in the comments below. Who do you think will start? Pedro or Willian? Because I think other than that, there's not really a discussion. And what are your match predictions? Because it's a difficult one for me. As I said, I can't even decide on one prediction for me personally. But yeah, leave me all of your thoughts on the comments. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thingy is there. We massively appreciate that. And yeah, up to Chelsea. I can't wait for the game tomorrow. And I'll see you next time. Actually, I won't see you next time this time. I will just see you tomorrow for the review. What a change. I'll see you tomorrow for the review then.